Okay, guys, so I wanted to do this video mainly because I was watching Stuart stream last night, and this was the most ridiculous game I've ever seen. There's a lot of Challenger players here. Stuart's currently nearly Challenger. I know Keys has got a Challenger account, and this is his second Grandmaster account. So this is a very high elo European game. I'm not going to use the pen for this. I'm not going to stop the video. We're going to view it together and spectate it. I didn't watch the whole game. I just caught the end of it and just saw how ridiculous it was. So we're gonna react to what I think was probably the most ridiculous Challenger game I've ever seen on a live stream. If you want to catch at Stuart, he's an AD carry main. I'll put his Twitch link in the description below. He's an amazing guy, really, really cool, has a really good Twitch stream, and he streams pretty much most days, and it also plays in professional tournaments, and also streams his scrims, so it's like really educational stuff. So I'll put his link in the description below. Also, thanks to G2A for sponsoring the channel, and there is a reference link in the description below. And also giving away skins. You know the deal. Like, subscribe, comment. Hit me. Let's get into this video anyway. Let's get into the what is the most ridiculous Challenger game I think I have ever witnessed. Okay, so we're 1 minute into the game. Stu's playing Ezreal Alistair, which is an interesting lane because Ezreal's not exactly known for like super early aggression. You can definitely do something like that, and if you manage to catch them with your second ability, first ability combo, it is pretty insane. But you're going into a very heavy sustain lane of Nami, Xayah. They have the range advantage, especially with Nami. You know, Alistair can be at risk here. So it is a lane that is quite difficult for Ezreal to play into unless you're able to catch someone off, get a big burst damage off, you know, and just go all in onto someone. But you need to find those all-in opportunities, and that's like the main thing when you're playing in this lane. And I think for Stu, it's clearly not a lane where he's going to dominate because Nami can stay very safe, so can Xayah. So I'm not expecting this lane to go like crazy in favor of Stu and Keys. But it was also a very safe lane for them. Like, Ezreal is one of the safest AD carries in the game. So, you know, for Ezreal, he's going to be super happy just like hard chilling, farming, getting to level 5, getting his items, because he scales so well into the late game. Like, Ezreal has got insane scaling in the late game. Keys really far up here. He could technically go for a flash combo if he wanted to. I don't know how successful it would be. Didn't even need to flash. Gets a nice headbutt there. Maybe the stun comes off, does, but they're too close to their tower to really go all in, and actually gets caught by a bubble. That's not the best look, but, you know, as Ezreal is one of the safest AD carries ever, is just able to arcane shift away. You can see, I just saw the Katarina pop up. Now, this would be a super, super risky tower dive for Katarina if she wants to go for it. It's not just Katarina, it's also the Camille. Okay, so they went for a double tower dive. Really nice. Diana looks like she dived under the turret. There is the Xayah ultimate coming on. It's now Diana picking up at least 1 kill here. Gets a double kill onto the Xayah, but ends up dropping. The kill goes over to Camille. Stuart with True Shot Barrage. Relatively comfortable. They're actually going in here. Stuart maybe made a little mistake. And it looks like Overlord and the Camille will get away from it. So, little mistake from Stu to come back to the tower. I think he believed that his True Shot Barrage would clear the wave and they wouldn't actually go for the dive, especially because the Hextech Ultimatum wasn't there for Camille. But kind of maybe underestimated the burst damage of Camille and the Katarina combined at this stage of the game. Still, I wouldn't say this is a crazy game just yet. I'd say this is a relatively easy Challenger game. Now, we have the dragon spawning. We have just seen Diana ultimate get used, so clearly that's a big ultimate that is now no longer going to be available. So maybe a little risky for Stu's team to go for the dragon fight here. They don't exactly have an insane team fight composition. They haven't exactly popped off in terms of early itemization. With no Diana ultimate, I'd be very wary at just straight up forcing a dragon like this. Okay, so we have the Camille turning up again. There's the Hextech Ultimatum into the bubble. Stu's dead. Yeah, this is why Camille is really good into Ezreal, by the way, because Hextech Ultimatum makes Ezreal's life a living hell. Nothing she can do about it. And that's enough of an advantage to go for this Rift Herald. Now, I would hope that Garen is taking the bot lane tower for free, because the Gragas has shown himself at the Dragon, so Garen could probably pick up the bot lane tower. Stuart's a typer, by the way. Loves to type. I tell him he shouldn't type, but he loves to type. Diana has rotated down as well. They should be able to secure the first tower of the game. You know, you can argue about the semantics of worth, but at least it's a cross-map trade at this point. At least it's a cross-map trade for Stuart's team. But, you know, I wouldn't say this is out of the ordinary. Stuart's having a rough time in the laning phase, clearly. Has been targeted pretty heavily by the Camille. This is why Camille jungle is proving quite popular recently. A, because Ezreal is super strong, Xayah is super strong, and Camille is pretty good into both those AD carries because she can lock them down nicely. But also just because of those ganks. Like, Camille has really strong post-level 5 ganks, and especially if she can kind of accelerate from that, she becomes a big threat. So we have a Rift Herald spawning in around 15 seconds. Now we see that the red side bot lane is stuck on the top side of the map. Camille is fighting on the bot side, but there's a big roam coming down from the Diana. Although the Rengar ends up dying, Katarina rotates down. It just feels like Stuart's team's a little slow on the rotations here. Now, I don't think Stu and Keys would have actually got there in time to make a difference. Looks like, though, Diana picks one off at the end here. So jungler for jungler at the end of the day. That's actually a relatively good outcome. Now, Xayah rotating down is a big deal because that's going to now allow Stuart to go for the tower. And that might be a really solid cross map. Like, he pops the ultimate maybe to try and go for the steal. Diana is doing a good job here. She's rotating as much as she physically can. This might genuinely just be another tower for Stuart's team. And actually, if you ask me, I always say that trading a tower for Rift Herald is worth. So that's a nice little play from Stu's team. However, Xayah is going to stick in the middle side of the map, and they're going to drop Rift Herald. Now, this should be a relatively easy rotation, though Diana gets locked into a trade versus the Camille. The Hextech Ultimatum should be available for her. Stuart and Keys have basically just left her to die. But that's probably okay, because they trade... Oh, whoa, Diana actually gets a kill here. Trades back for the Camille, but Diana getting a kill in that situation is really nice, and now it looks like they're going to be able to trade the mid lane tower back. And they actually get the kill advantage overall. Diana is a little bit careful. Hextech Ultimatum to buy her some time. They get keys. Here comes Katarina. Ultimate comes through from Stu, straight onto the back of them. Stu's still relatively safe. Should be able to take out the Camille here. Has to be a little careful versus the Gragas, though. I think he has managed to land the slow on him, so Gragas, I believe, will end up getting the kill. Or should end up getting the kill. And bops him. Has to flash for it, but bops him. There you go. So I'm pausing here and there because I'm about to start casting some ESL Wildrift. So I need to check that I'm not going to be too late for rehearsals. So I'm going to be pausing the video here and there. And at some point, you're probably going to see me pause the video and go and do my rehearsal and then come back and finish the video. My life is a bit stressful, but I've had some really insane Wildrift news. I can't talk about it, but I have been doing some work for some really insane Wildrift stuff coming up in the next few months. I can't talk about it though, but I'm just going to tell you it's pretty awesome, and I'm really excited. Right, okay, so Stuart, I didn't see his items, but he should be now looking at like a Triforce and a Manamune, like he's in a relatively good spot here. He's been farming quite well, picked up a kill, even though he's died 3 times, he's in an okay spot. We have another dragon spawning. Diana is really strong right now. So if I'm Stu's team, I'm kind of looking to set up my Diana as much as possible. Apart from the Gragas and the Nami wave, there isn't really a good way to stop Diana getting a big ult channel off. Now, Garen is down on the bottom side of the map here, so Gragas is already rotated up, and they're straight into Hextech Ultimatum. Wave, bopped, dead. Yeah, that's why you see Camille picked into Ezreal, guys. And then Keys dies. Just lack of vision from the team. Rengar, I have no idea what he was attempting to do there. But Rengar jumping into a full team is kind of memes. Gets taken very low. Camille finishes it off eventually. Should be another relatively secure Drake for the red team. And again, red team is going to win with this composition if they are able to get isolated picks like you just saw there. If red team are able to just get like the picks onto like the AD carry, good ult from Stu, doesn't quite land the Drake. But if they're able to get picks like that onto the AD carry, like they're going to excel in single target damage. Where I think Stu's team is going to work well is when they play around Diana. Like you just play around Diana and Alistair, and then Garen maybe looks for a big ult. Maybe Rengar can pick off stragglers. Stu from the out, Stu keeps himself relatively safe from the outside. They have to play around the fact that their Diana is really strong right now. She has gone for the Nash's Tooth build, which means she's probably looking to be a bit more single target focused, a bit more split push focused. So Diana definitely has the potential to split push here. I think Diana can probably, apart from the Camille, 1v1 the majority of the enemy team because she's that strong. And for Stu, his kind of job is just to farm as much as possible in the mid lane. Just like keep farming, get your late game item spikes, and sort of and kind of like wait it out. Looks like Gragas is going to be able to escape. I think it's Tank Gragas. I get the feeling it's Tank Gragas. Tank Gragas is generally a little bit more widely used. We have Nab AD carry. Poor Rengar. Slapping Stu at 1 and 4. Stuart, stop typing. You never. Yeah. Stuart just needs to stop typing. He's prone to a little bit of rage. Whereas I've just learned to turn off chat. I sometimes type, but I mostly learn to turn off chat. In fact, I recently disabled all my chats, even my team chat. Looks like this could just be another Hextech ultimatum, if he even needs to use it. Doesn't even look like he needs to use it. Keys, nice flash, slowed down from the leg sweep. I mean, there isn't much Stu can do here. Like, if the Camille is that strong, she can just jump out of nowhere and make those kind of plays. So for Stu, when you're behind as an AD carry versus a Camille, yeah, that's kind of what you're expecting to happen. Looks like the Rengar gets picked off. I mean, Camille's really popping here. Camille's really popping. Okay, I just did my rehearsal, so yeah, we know where we are. I just did my rehearsal. I should be relatively good to just keep going now. There we go. All right, so we got to the point in the game where Stu's team's clearly behind. Stuart's been the receiving end of a significant number of Camille ganks. Most people at this stage of the game, 12 minutes in, when you're kind of this far behind, would very likely be like, FF, go next, right? A lot of them would be just very happy to say, I'm done with this game. Especially when your team looks to be running it down a little bit. Like Diana just runs in around the Baron. Looks like that's enough pressure with the Garen top to go for the Baron. But one thing that I would say that's played into Stu's favor this game has been the split pushing aspect. You know, the fact that Garen has actually just been pushing those side lanes. This is a little bit risky from the Camille, but she's so far ahead that they're just blowing up Stuart. And Garen is still just pushing the side lane. For some reason, Xayah backed to deal with Garen. But if you look at Rengar and look at Garen, you actually can't win here or even potentially get an inhibitor turret because A, you don't have a minion wave, and B, Rengar's pushing bot lane and Garen's pushing top lane. So it's actually impossible to win if you were the red side, because it's too difficult to kind of deal with the pressure in the side lanes, and you don't have enough pressure in the mid lane, especially with your AD carry not there to feasibly take the mid lane inhibitor tower. So Stu's team is actually winning this game, or at least keeping themselves afloat in this game by using side lane pressure. So whilst split pushing is for a lot of reasons quite difficult to or for a lot of reasons not a good thing to do consistently, in this particular circumstance, split pushing has actually resulted in a lot of pressure that the enemy team doesn't really know how to deal with. So it looked like Rengar tried to gank the Gragas and didn't get away with it. You've got to remember that the bot lane tier 1 and the top lane tier 1 is still standing for Stuart's team, because Garen is constantly shoving that wave in and Rengar is constantly shoving the other wave in. And it is a little too difficult for the red team to actually do anything as a result of this. Now, it looks like they're trying to go for the Baron here. You can see that is the Katarina just going very aggressive. Doesn't have anything left in the tank, though. And actually, Stuart has managed to force her back. She does drop very low, somehow keeps herself alive, but the ultimate gets her down. And that delayed the Baron. That stopped the Baron. In the meantime, look at Garen. Garen is just at the top inhibitor turret. I actually think red team would have been better off just doing Baron instead of trying to make the engage happen there. They probably would have been better off just doing Baron and saying, well, okay, let's just 50-50 this at the Baron. If they engage on us, we'll fight there. And Garen did quite a lot of work to that top lane inhibitor tower. So, like for one time in my life, this is like a genuine stalling of the game coming out. Look, that is Stuart secured the dragon, which is a really big deal. Really, really big deal for Stuart securing the dragon. Looks like they're going to get keys at the end of it, though. So, dragon for 1 kill is not bad. But look at Garen. He's just clearing waves. The guy that everyone is spam pinging is the guy that's actually keeping them in this game. Because if Garen... I mean, there is an argument to say if Garen was joining the fight, would they win? I would say no, because they're so far behind in terms of brawling power. The guy that's getting flamed is legit the guy that's keeping them in this game. Garen, just by randomly split pushing waves and creating pressure in the side lane and threatening inhibitor towers, makes it much more difficult for the enemy team to kind of go for these plays. Almost stole. Honestly, Stu almost stole it. But look at how out of position the red team are right now. And Diana and Rengar take towers ridiculously quickly. They're going to get the mid lane inhibitor tower. And look how close it is for the top lane inhibitor tower to go down. They traded Baron for mid lane inhibitor. They have to make use of this Baron. They have to make use of this Baron, because if they don't, they've just lost a permanent objective on the map. That's permanent pressure in the mid lane. And you can see, like, Stuart's team are just constantly going to the side lanes. How would you deal with this if you're red team? I think the answer is just brute force it. If I was red team, I would literally group up as 5, push the mid lane, and just say, okay, well, we'll dive you into tower if we have to. And Garen, Garen's not going to finish the game quicker than we can just kind of go for the kill and end the game. So that's the way I would potentially deal with it if I was the red team. But obviously, obviously they've been kind of bowing to the pressure that Garen has been putting in the side lanes. Looks like Garen has bought enough time here. Might end up seeing this mid lane inhibitor traded mid lane for mid lane. Nice cask from the Gragas. I think Garrus is. I think Garen was going to trade his life. I thought Garen was going to trade his life for the inhibitor tower there. Looks like they end up getting away with it. But Rengar, look at Rengar. He's just bopped off, and I think Rengar's going to take out the tower by himself. He actually is. That is nutty. May even end up getting away with this. Looks like the red team are trying to end the game here, but they have to go into the Diana, and Diana still has her ultimate available. They're just trying to. I think they're just trying to desperately clear waves as much as they can, and actually, red team are not confident for the end. This game is ridiculous. Like, Rengar and Garen have just been randomly split pushing, and whilst it's looked like they've kind of been running it down, it's actually been a good thing for Stuart's team, because the side lane pressure is what's won this game, or at least has kept them in the game. Because now red team have got a permanent pressure in the top lane to contend with, and a permanent pressure in the mid lane. Although I would say with both mid lane inhibitors down, it's going to be now relatively equal. But that top lane is the furthest away from Baron, and Baron is a game-ending objective. And what did the red team do with Baron? Diddly sugar. They did diddly sugar. I would actually wager that despite the gold lead looking pretty poor, the gold differential is probably relatively even. It looks like the Gragas is just trying to trade his life for towers wherever he can. Look at the damage from that Diana ultimate. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. I think they trade 1 for 1 at the end of the day. Somehow Garen gets away with it because tank Garen is kind of broken. In comes Rengar. They take out the Katarina. They should be able to chase down this Xayah as well. How are they still in this game, dude? Like, how is red team just not able to win? They were so far ahead. Like, they should have just grouped up as a 5 and said, fine, Garen, you take inhibitor tower, we take game. Looks like Camille's attempting to win the game here. So Camille's just like attempting to win the game solo. This is basically Camille frustrated. I know how that Camille feels. It really sucks. And the Elder is spawning, and Camille is having to go back to base. And it's 20 seconds until the Xayah spawns, and 10 seconds until the Katarina spawns. And I don't really see a way that they're going to end up getting this in this Elder. It looks like Gragas goes over the wall to kill the Rengar. They're trying to kill the Rengar here. Rengar's the target. Ultimate comes through. There's the Nami bubble. And who's getting the... And they stole it. Oh dear. And are they going to lose the fight here? I don't know, actually. Low HP bars, you have a very tanky Garen. Ezreal untouched on the backline. Katarina comes in, but Stuart manages to survive. The silence comes through, so now Katarina is useless. A great stasis from Stuart, but not quite enough. And look at the waves, though. Oh my god, they didn't set up the waves. No one took care of the waves, because they have inhibitor minions pushing in the mid and top. They can't even end. They can't even end. They've got Infernal Elder, 4 people dead, or even 5 people dead, and they can't even end. That's insane. They just didn't. They didn't prepare their mid lane wave. If they had somehow prepared their mid lane wave, which I know would have been hard, if they'd somehow prepared their mid lane wave, they might have been able to end off this. But they haven't been able to end off this. That pressure that was put down by Garen and Rengar, what looked like inting, has actually resulted in keeping Stu's team in the game when they really should not be in the game. This game should be well over by now, but Stuart's team is just still in it. If red team was sensible, they would have just said, fine, Garen, split push top lane, we're going to run it down as 5 and win the game. But they're not sensible. They made a mistake, and it looks like Xayah just dies to the Rengar solo. Damn it. That's insane. I mean, this is real comeback territory now because Xayah's down for 50 seconds. Looks like they lose out on the Baron just about because they were a little too slow to the punch. But, again, pushing these waves in. Rengar's pushed top lane in. Everyone else has pushed mid lane in. The Baron is going to be used defensively because they can't actually get out of their own base. Looks like Camille has kind of just had enough. Camille has had enough and she's just going in for the engage. Don't think she's got Hextech Ultimatum available. But it was enough to ward off. But look, no one's dealing with top lane. And Diana's just back up there putting more pressure on. Looks like Stuart has to be careful. Nice flash. Keeps himself alive. The headbutt comes through. Camille just going in. She kills the Alistair, but what else? You're not going to get anything else from this. I mean, Stuart picks up the kill there. Stuart's getting to like late game Ezreal now. I mean, Nami's the one that's having to defend the top lane wave. The wave's shoving in the bot lane because Garen's just randomly split pushing again. And the one thing that Tank Gragas can't do is effectively clear waves in the late game. Like he has got, unless he's getting, in melee range, it's very difficult for Tank Gragas to clear waves. And Diana, this is like a 1-3-1 actually being executed well. It's insane what I'm seeing. Absolutely insane. How many Barons have we had? Is that the second? But we're 22. I don't even know if I've played a game that's gone 22 minutes. They catch the Rengar out here. That's a big catch because you have your Camille spawning in 15 seconds. However, again, major issue. No minion waves. You can't win without minion waves. Riot actually made it more difficult to win if you're red team in this scenario. The reason they made it more difficult is because you can no longer backdoor easily. Looks like Camille bought a teleport boots and they are just literally going for the all-in here. No, oh my goodness. Who teleported to oh my gosh, Gragas inted. Insane Diana ultimate and Gragas like legit inted. Gragas thought that Garen was trying to go for the end in the side lane and teleported to the top lane to protect the wave. If Garen had come to this fight, the game might have been over. But good thing that Stuart and Diana did was just focus on clearing waves, make it so that they can't push in. And Garen is just off again. He's off to his adventure in the side lane. Goodbye, Garen. Somehow Rengar gets away with a kill here. It's one of the good things about Rengar. Good Gragas ultimate, but the Rengar flashes, so they've traded one for nothing overall. Good Ezreal ultimate. Ezreal is at the stage of the game where he's doing something insane. Oh, he just gets bopped. What on earth? Diana ultimate though. That was pretty insane. Diana pretty low. She dies eventually. But she dies to tower. That's a really crucial death because now it's 3 people on the map versus 3 people on the map. And it's Xayah, Katarina, and Gragas versus the rest of them. And you can see that Garen and Rengar are just constantly looking to pressure in these side lanes. Like Garen's just going to go clear. I think Garen's just going to go proxy waves at this point. Yep. So what Garen is doing here is called proxying waves. And it basically means going well beyond where your minion wave is to just kill the minion waves that will eventually meet yours. And he's doing this to make it so that the wave automatically pushes. And he doesn't really have to expend much effort doing it. It's going to be a Baron showdown. But, I mean, Garen's just split pushing. I actually think Garen is doing the right thing here. He's ignoring his team calls, but he's actually doing the right thing. Because there is no evidence to say, or at least what we've seen so far, there's not much evidence to say like team fights are automatically won if you're Stuart's team, if you're blue side. I don't know what Rengar's doing, dude. Like, what is Rengar doing? Why is Rengar soloing the Baron by himself? Garen gets caught out here, but he's probably tanky enough to live through the Camille. Okay, so that's a really good escape from Camille. They've taken down 2. How can they not win? They've taken down 2 people. It's 24 minutes into the game. How can you not win at this stage in the game? You have such a ridiculous advantage. You're 5 versus 3. Gragas, don't. Gragas, just join your team, please. So they're doing Baron here. They get it. And they're backing. Oh my god, they're just wasting so much time. Just push mid. Okay, so they've killed Diana. Surely you can win here if you're red team. Surely you just win. How do you not win if you're red team here? You've just killed the most threatening player on the team. Okay, so Rengar's now... Is Rengar base racing? Is he going for the final inhibitor turret here? I don't know what's happening. Rengar's run away. Why is Gragas not in the fight? Oh, that's such a big pick off, though. They get the Nami very early on here. That is the Baron minion moving and just focus the Nexus. Where's Xayah? Where's Gragas? What are they doing? Oh, my God, Camille. Oh, my God. I don't know how that game happened. Camille somehow won the game for them. I have no idea what half those players were doing. I actually think what Garen was doing for the majority of the game was okay, given that the rest of the team weren't doing very well. I guess his idea was, well, my team's losing team fights. There's no point in me being there. I'm a Garen. I'm just going to get like killed. Might as well try and take these side lane turrets. And actually, the minion wave control and the minion wave pressure from Stu's team was really good that game, but red team could have won that about 50 times. And even at the end there, they were like a minute amount away from just straight up losing. But Camille, who I think was like one of the MVP players, probably just the MVP player for that team, somehow clutches it out at the end. That's crazy. And then he went on to have another game like this that he actually won, by the way. Recommend that you watch his stream. It's really, really insane. But it just shows you that even at the high levels of play, things are still a bit fiesta. We all love a good fiesta from time to time, guys. And you still get them at Challenger. Hope you enjoyed. It was just a bit of fun today. And I'll see you soon.